Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try this again. It's been tough getting started this week. I don't know about you guys, but, you know, at this point in the quarantine, starting to get some fatigue from being on this kind of different kind of schedule. There have been some positive things, but it's also, there are like daily life things that are kind of sneaking up on us. I'm realizing as an adult and as a parent and as a homeowner that, just because school stops doesn't mean all of life stops, and there's lots of things that still need to happen. On that note, I wanted to thank you guys for sharing what you have shared with me over the COVID-19 responses. I really appreciate hearing what y'all are going through, what you guys are doing to stay sane and keep your mind right, and how you're feeling about just the way things are going. It's been really nice to hear your guys' different perspectives on the COVID-19 shutdown. So starting this week, we're continuing on with Microsoft Excel. We're going to start working on a couple more advanced features here. Today with this assignment, though, we're going to do something actually relatively simple. And I wanted to show you while I'm at it a little kind of nifty thing I found with Office 365. So we're actually going to go back into Excel Activity 11. I'm going to change the file name so that it becomes the new file for the new assignment. We're going to go Save As. I'm going to call this now Excel Activity 12. You might want to put, dot your initials as per usual. I'm going to put example. Please try again in a little while. I love that message. Just try back later, Who knows when? Just give it another shot. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give it another shot. I'm going to save as. Yes. I guess that was later enough. Okay. Don't worry about that. Okay, what we're looking at is right here. This is what we most recently worked on. I did apply a little bit of light formatting, which I asked you to do. I added some lines. I was not specific about what you should do. I just said apply light formatting. So I bolded my column headings. I bolded here. I put a little line to kind of make this all look a little bit nicer. Main things that we were working on, yes, with Activity 11, we had some very simple functions like the average function, min and max, okay, those functions, and we spent more time and energy on the logical function, the if function. All right, which gives me, a logical test, and whether or not that logical test is true or false gives me one of two responses. We also used the more advanced kind of embedded or nesting functions, where we took multiple functions and put them inside of each other. And this kind of gives us the illusion of having, more than one decision. We've got a number of different options that might come out of a single function, okay? Whereas the if function is usually just stuck between two answers, two responses. We now have A, B, C, D, or F, 5. And you could see with this pattern, we could go on with even more potential results from our function, okay? All right. You might be able to hear my kids being loud in the side, outside this room. I apologize on that, but they're having fun and they're trying to maintain sanity the way a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old maintain their sanity. So, and that is by being extremely silly, I'll have you know. All right, moving on. So what we're going to do today is we're going to apply what's called conditional formatting. Okay, so conditional formatting helps you, highlight certain areas of a spreadsheet. Right now, all I have is just black and white. We've got a white background. We've got black numbers. You might have applied some color to this, and that's fine. But maybe what I want to do when I've got this big spreadsheet is I want to highlight, some specific results. Okay, so what I'm going to do and what you're going to do with me is we're going to highlight from C2 down to F11. C2 to F11. I'm sorry. I'm going to do C2 to E11. That's what I want. I want my results from tests A, B, and C. And what I want to do is I want to highlight all of the test scores that happened above an 89. I want to highlight green all of the results that are between 90 and 100 because those are my really successful tests. Okay, so I've highlighted my area. I'm going to go where it says conditional formatting. This is in the home tab, conditional formatting. And here I have some options. I'm going to do highlight cell rules. So from here, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put greater than. And I want to find all of my test scores that are above an 89. So that would be 90 or above. And over here in this field, I have the option to say what I want it to look like. Now in the expanded desktop version, we can actually customize this, but in Office 365, we only have this set of options right here. Green, I usually think of as good, so I'm going to fill my greater than 89 with a green fill, dark green text. I'm going to click OK. Here you can see that the result is that immediately those good scores get highlighted green, which makes me, makes them show. We can actually overlap multiple rules on top of each other. So I'm going to highlight that same area from C2 down to E11. And I'm going to go back into conditional formatting. And what I want to do now is I want to find all of the scores that are under 65. Okay, so those are things that would be, not passing, a 64 or below. All right. Or, sorry, let's do 64. All right, so here I'm going to go back into conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and this time we're going to do less than. I'm going to keep this one light red fill. I think of red as bad, okay? And here we're going to find scores that are less than 64. I'm going to click OK. And here, now you can see the results. I have overlapping rules. I have green for good, red for bad. And by the way, because I applied those rules, if any of my numbers changed, it would immediately apply that conditional formatting back, okay? Okay, so even if these numbers change, that conditional formatting is going to immediately, apply itself to that area. All right, so just kind of looking at some of these other things that we have the ability to highlight between two numbers. If I wanted to find all my middle numbers and mark them yellow, I'm not going to do that. I could find and highlight things that are equal to a specific number. This I'm a little bit frustrated with because what I originally wanted to show you is that you could do on this area, we could maybe do if it's equal to pass, we could do it as green. Oh, and it does work actually, okay? And so therefore I can go ahead and do equal to fail and make that red. Just to kind of highlight, oops, did I not do that right? Equal to fail. Yeah, okay, there. Okay, so that's good. I don't know when I was trying this before where the holdup was, but okay, so we can do equal to, and I guess that's also important, and you should go back and do that because we can evaluate not just numbers, but we can also evaluate text. It is important when you're doing that step that the text is spelled absolutely correctly. You could try it out to see if lowercase matters, just for your own kind of understanding. Okay. So we can highlight things that are a specific date. We could highlight duplicate values. Okay. All right. We can also look at, percentages. If we want to look at my, if I've got, 50 different students and I want to look at the top 10 scores, I could highlight the top 10 scores. So we have different things here. All right. One other thing that I want to show you in conditional formatting are these kind of value bars. We're going to do this one in column F. I'm going to go from F2 down to F11, and we have a number of their test averages. We're looking in the same menu for conditional formatting, but here what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a color scale, okay? And let's see how that plays out. Let's go, green is good, yellow in the middle, red is bad. If I just simply apply that to this area, you can see that it really helps highlight who are my stars, who are the ones who really did the best, okay? So, Fatima, Liam, and Dorothy are all my kind of big hitters. Poor Zachary, he just really obviously didn't study for this test, so he got, a really bad score, and it shows it with that red coloring, okay? So what it does is it puts these things on a gradient, which can really help you demonstrate certain things, okay? If at any point we don't like the rules or we want to eliminate that coloring, I'm going to highlight from F2 down to F11. We're going to go back into conditional formatting, and we have this option to clear the rules. We can clear from the entire sheet or just from the selected cells, and I want you to do that now. Okay? Let's go back in here one more time. So we looked at color scales. Let's look at icon rules. Okay, so we can look at they have these different ways to kind of flag, who's doing well and who's, not doing well, or to try to evaluate a set of numbers. All right, here on a similar basis, I can see that I got check marks for Fatima, Liam, and Dorothy. Okay, I got a big red X for Zachary Nichols. Okay. So here we have other ways to do conditional formatting. And here again, if those things were ever to change, let's see, where can I put in kind of a simple change? Let's put this test score at 100. I can see that I've now changed my results, and that conditional formatting has changed as well. Okay? All right. So your work should look roughly like what I have here. Making sure that you've applied two rules here, you've used symbols along here, and you've applied your equals pass and equals fail as I just demonstrated to these areas. That's what I would like to see. With this last minute, I wanted to show you one quick little thing that I found that I thought was kind of cool. Is if you look over in this data area, there's these two buttons called stocks and geography. And let me just show you, if I put in the word Virginia, and then I click on it and click geography, watch what happens. I get along the right hand side to get all of this information about Virginia. Okay, I have symbols. I have what is the city, who are the leaders, Ralph Northam, Justin Fairfax, the population, all in this data selector. If I click on any of this information and select it, Oh, shoot. Sorry. If I click here now,